not a war. This is not supposed to be war. This is not. If anything, this is supposed to be a discussion. This is not a war. I don't care about a woman being on my side if there's no benefit for her being on our side. There's no benefit from these women being on our side because all they're doing is just using our talking points, but as women. And so they're making money off of men's talking points. Instead of saying, okay, women, I think we need to do better. Here's how we can do better. Or how about you offer your services to men? Hey, listen, you got to get yourself a good woman. You know, this is what my husband did. If you're not doing these things, you're not going to get a woman like me. Because those women are quick to say, oh, I'm a good woman, I'm the exception. Okay, what about your friends? Oh yeah, me and my friends, we're not like that. Okay, so tell me something. Why are all of you single? So why aren't you advertising? Why have none of you found one good dude and then you find that good dude, see if look at his friends group, pick out all the good ones, and then you all just take the good ones. Like, it's a funny thing because men actually do that. If a man finds a good woman and she has good friends,
good sisters, we always ask that. Oh, do you have a sister?
Yeah,
do you have
we'll
a cousin?
be like, yo, her sister, get on that, man. Her sister's like
her sister, her friends. Let's double date, man. She got a friend. Like, I'll hook you up.
That happens
all the time.
But for women that they never do that, and I'll be like, but if you're such
they're always
a good
trying
woman,
not to hook you up.
Yeah,
at least not with their best one. They'll give you the one that they know that can't really get a guy because there's issues. And she knows what the issues are. But yeah, exactly. It's like I introduce you to my friend. You meet the awkward, shy one.
Especially the dude she's messing with. She knows is a good dude. So you messing with a good dude, and he's like, yo man, my friend really likes your friend. Oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But why? What is your dilemma? It's not like he's asking you for a threesome. He's saying he wants to hook his friend up with your friend. Now, if you have a problem with it, and you're like, well, no, I think your friend is a bad influence, then what you're actually saying is you want the bad boy. You don't want your friend to have a bad boy. So then stop faking it and stop telling yourself a lie. That's it. Just admit to yourself, well, I'm not dating a good guy. This is probably not going to have a good ending. Stop lying to yourself.
Or the other possibility, it's drawing that you want her not to be in a relationship because you want her to be there by your side,
to be available to you.
Yeah, and that's fucked up.
Because
you got a man, but she can't have a man because you need her around.
Yeah. Because as soon as she get in a relationship, it's not going to be the same.
Every now.
It's okay for you. It's not okay for her.
And that's
even worse.
That's even worse.
That's even worse.
That's sad.
Selfishness.
Yeah, that's super selfish. Yep.
That's selfishness. But
because that's what the friend zone is. It's essentially that. It's like, I like you, but not like that. So, but we can be friends, and then go get with another guy, and then still try to keep this guy by your side.
I don't know who originally said it, but it was so funny that they said that when a woman asked, man, where are all good men at? He's in your friend zone. He's in your friend zone. Yep. I don't know who came with that. I was like, yeah, that's true. That dude, he's in your friend zone.
Probably was Kevin.
And then when you look at, agreed. Agreed, yeah. Because I really didn't hear it before him. And
there's always he always mentions the idea there's like you probably you probably met him a long time ago, but you were too busy chasing the bad boys, living your best life. That's the problem. And
where's the man that's for me? He's in your friend zone. And then like I remember I was watching a podcast and women were like, men friend zone women too. They just had sex with them. I was like, that's not the friend zone. That's really not what the friend zone is, because if that was a friend zone, we wouldn't be mad about that. That's not how the friend zone works. There's a friend zone. The friend zone is platonic. There's no such thing as a platonic friend zone with a man. So I really wish y'all would stop trying to make that a thing. It's not a thing. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not gonna happen.
you can say it's friends with benefits, but you can't say it's friend zone.
Yeah, it's not a friend zone.
It's not a friend zone.
Yeah, it's not a friend zone. It's just friends with benefits. And the man is allowed to get all the benefits. You're allowing him to do it. That's on you.
Yeah.
You're two consenting adults. And nothing of what you think is gonna come out of it is gonna come out of it, because he may not have those feelings for you, but he'll have sex with you.
Yeah. Because it's always been said, especially in the red pill community, it's always been said that it's like guys is looking for sex.
Yeah.
Women are looking for relationships. Mm-hmm. So if a guy has sex with you but doesn't become your boyfriend, well, he won. Yeah. You took an L. You lost. You didn't get a relationship first.
Yeah.
You can't get unfucked, right?
Yeah.
As they say, right? He still hit though. So he got a W and you didn't get one.
Yeah.
The thing is, you should have got your W first.
Yeah.
Then
and there's nothing wrong with. I don't see what the problem is with holding out. There's nothing wrong with holding out, because a man can't get mad that you want some type of commitment, considering the fact that men are supposed to understand the dating market and are supposed to understand the whole reciprocity thing. So, yes, I agree. I know you want to take her out, and it's not fair that he expects something for it. But to be fair, you don't have to give it up to him. What you could do is, how about you take him out with you if you really like him? Mm-hmm. How about you just pay for yours? Now, it may not be attractive to you, but at least you are showing some form of reciprocity. Yeah. And then when he does show you commitment and give you the commitment you want, then you go be late. This is it. He's giving you the commitment you want. Now, if you're like, well, I really don't feel like doing it after that, then it's like, okay, maybe you want to wait for marriage or something. Let that be known. Mm-hmm. So he knows whether he's going to waste his time or not. Because believe me, if the goal is to just hit, he knows he's wasting his time. Because no matter what he does, if you stick to your guns, he knows he's going to have to marry you. So he knows it's a complete waste of time to just keep around you if he doesn't plan to.
Yeah. And exactly, if he's just want to hit, then he's going to look for the easiest thing.
Yeah.
And the problem is don't be the easiest thing. You want something, make sure you get it.
It's so funny because I see it on the Kendra G show that on YouTube and IG Live. Sometimes, very, very once in a while, a Christian man will come on there. He says, "I'm waiting until marriage," this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to sit back and act like that doesn't exist. That exists. There are men out there that are really willing to wait. There are men out there that are willing to wait. So if that is a woman's expectation, just find a dude that is going to be willing to wait, because he's going to know exactly how to have that kind of discipline. He's going to know not to want to put you in that situation because he doesn't want to put himself in that situation. Mm-hmm. And if you think the dude's faking it, well, then you'll know because he's putting you in that situation. Why are you at his house at night? What are you doing there? Mm-hmm. Dinner's over. It's almost 10 o'clock. He got work in the morning. You got work in the morning. I don't see the issue. I don't see why you're still there. You should be able to drive you home. So you can save yourself a lot of headaches by doing that, by having that standard.
Because dating, aka going to dinner, going to an activity to get to know each other, that's not a relationship.
Yeah.
That's
your date.
That's why, it makes more sense, especially when chicks have money. So they can't be like, oh, the guy has to pay because, I don't have the money. And that would make sense. See, back in the day, the guy definitely had to pay because it's not like the chicks had money. Most chicks didn't have money. And if they did, it was probably like, just enough for like a salad or something, hypothetically, right? They didn't have money like that. It was the guys who were getting the money, and they're the ones taking the chicks out on the date to get to know them, right? Blah, blah, blah. But that's how it used to be. But now with chicks having money, it's like, well, if you want a boyfriend, then you gotta take him on a date. Mm-hmm. Right, you need to impress him, so he be interested in dating you. So that's why you spend money to get him to become your boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Then when he's your boyfriend, then that's when you do the girlfriend stuff, right?
You get the girlfriend, yeah.
You shouldn't get the girlfriend. Yeah, you shouldn't get the girlfriend privilege, the girlfriend experience on a dinner date.
Yeah,
it was just a date. You're not in a relationship yet. Mm-hmm. The thing is, get the relationship. Use the date to get the relationship. Mm-hmm. Once you get the relationship, then that's when he can get the goodies. Mm-hmm. But instead of doing it that way,
and at the very least, if you get the relationship, you get the relationship privileges. And if you if you find that you've done that work and he's not giving you relationship privileges, then just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Because my thing is that that's the part I think that women skip.
You need to have a probation.
I think that's the part to me.
Probation period.
To me, I think that's the part that women skip over. That when you get into the actual relationship, is when you get the actual privileges.
Mm-hmm.
So and you deserve the actual privileges. You do. I'm never against that. I think a guy with a girl should always treat his girl like, yeah, that's the woman that I'm really serious about. That's what I'm gonna go back for. I'm gonna be a man for her. Yeah. That means that when she's in distress, that I'm gonna help her. That means I'm gonna look out for her, to the best of my abilities. Now, whether you two move up a notch to husband and wife, that's a different thing. I'm not saying that every relationship leads to that, but what I'm saying is that yes, after she's qualified, you should treat her like a girlfriend. You should be paying for dates and all that. You should be taking her out, and she should still be doing things for you because remember, she still has to qualify to be the wife. Now she's done the work to qualify as a girlfriend. Now she has to do the work to qualify as the wife. So she gets the girlfriend privileges. She deserves that. You give her the girlfriend privileges, she gives you the boyfriend privileges, and that's fine. But then, in order to be a wife, she starts doing the things to qualify as the wifely privilege. And if you think that, I really don't plan to marry her, then you might as well cut it off right there. Because you shouldn't be trying to get wifely privileges from a woman, because all you're really going to do is break her heart. And you're just ruining her for the next person. And for what? You already don't want to be with.
It's the same thing as any job. Mm-hmm. The dinner date, that's an interview. That's all that is. It's an interview. Then when y'all get into a relationship, that's just the first couple pay weeks, right? Mm-hmm. The first couple weeks of working when y'all dating. Mm-hmm. And then eventually a raise, right? Mm-hmm. You start meeting the family, you start getting, basically introduced to everybody else, upper management and stuff like that, right? You get invited on trips, right? Mm-hmm. Company vacations, right? And the list goes on. You start getting all these benefits and perks, talk about, there's some, you might get a promotion. There's some positions opening up, like wife position, yeah, and then it goes on. It's just like that. It's the same dynamic. The same dynamic when it comes to work, and it's the same dynamic when it comes to relationship. There's entry level stuff, right? There's the interview. Then there's doing. Right now, most of y'all are doing internships. Mm-hmm. You're just immediately starting to put in the work and not getting the job. They'll gladly let you work it for them. But then once they get what they want from you, then they move on to the next person. Oh, let me get another intern. Yeah, let's just keep running through interns, aka 304s. Why hire anybody when we can just keep getting interns instead? And that's what it is. Y'all just, because you're not putting out like, oh no, I'm only here for the position. I'm not here,
Just to do the job that qualifies for it, and then not be a possible prospect. Mm-hmm. But I guess women are seeing it the other way, and I think that's really another issue too. The dynamic of the women are the job, and that the men are interviewing, and then they're interning. But what they don't understand is that the ultimate goal has to come from the man, which is obviously the ring. That's the ultimate promotion. So it's like, if that is the end goal, then you have to understand that dynamic doesn't work, because a man is not going to work his way up to give you the ultimate prize that you want. It has to be the other way around. You have to be able to put in the work, because if he's putting in the work, it's not to give you the ultimate prize so you could just run everything. Remember, you're the business already, so there is no ultimate prize for you. He's not going to work till the day he dies. It's not how it goes. So the ultimate prize is basically a retirement, because that's what we all work for. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that we retire comfortably. We don't want to work the rest of our lives. We want to retire comfortably. So it's like, I believe, if a woman looked at it like that, and understood the steps that it takes. And at least if there was a woman YouTuber out there, or just a woman out there in general, helping with those steps. You know, I see a lot of femininity coaches, which is great. You know, teaching women how to be feminine. But you also gotta, you know, put in the work and help women out with the understanding of, you know, the idea of you're going into this relationship like a business, and like you said, when you're dating, that is your interview phase, you know, and then what you're doing is you're trying to get to the internship. The internship is the relationship where you both are basically working to see, are you both the right fit? You know, is this the right fit, the right place I need to be? Am I going to be the right fit for them? Because right now, I'm getting some benefits, they're getting some benefits. They're not getting the full version of me because I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not getting the full version of them. I don't have access to everything because I'm just an intern. So, you know, that's where that comes in at. And then when you want an actual relationship, it's like, okay, we're gonna have the actual relationship, an actual commitment. That's when you become full-fledged and look, now you've moved up where, yes, the wifey qualities, now you're part of my company. Now we're working together, we're working for each other. And like I said, the goal is to be able to retire comfortably. The goal is for you to retire comfortably and for me to benefit from that by you continuing on my legacy and the game plan. Because obviously, you're the company, you have to have a game plan. You know, that's what the purpose is about. Mm-hmm. And so that's why, you know, I always say, yes, we will continue to hold men accountable as well, because you have to be on your purpose. Because you can't have somebody working for your company and what are they going to retire on? Mm-hmm. You know, you have to be able to. Yeah, so you have to be able to provide a retirement for them. Whether that's like, you know, in an instance of work, it'd be like 401ks, retirement plans, but as well as what are they planning on their end? You know, savings, investments. So, yes, I totally agree with that analogy. But it just seems like women want to be like, okay, you come to work for me, and it's like, yeah, but you want a leader, which means you want somebody that's going to give you direction. That's not how it goes. I don't walk into your company and just start telling you what to do. Now, that's possible if I'm already the CEO. Now, if I'm already the CEO, that's all you got to say. That means you're going to follow my direction. But if you start giving me pushback, then it can't work because you're asking me to come in here with my direction. You're asking me to come here, take over, and make things right. That can't happen if you're going to give me pushback, because then I'm just going to reject it and say, okay, I got to go my own way, for lack of better terms. It's like I'd rather just go to another company where they're going to allow me to do what they asked me to do. Mm-hmm. But if you see it in the way of you're the employee and I'm the company, when you come in, you're not trying to change anything. You're asking, what can I do as a service? That's where the submission thing comes in, because that's what that is. You're voluntarily saying, you know, what can I do as a service? And I can tell you how we're going to improve this game plan. Mm-hmm. And I think that if more women actually seen it like that, we'd be better in a relationship type of setting. Because even though these are all business terms, and this is a total business analogy, it applies just like that when you look at it in real life and with real life examples. You know, and we always like to use movie stars, right? Because it's very recognizable. Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. Because, yeah, we all know Beyonce's a boss chick and all that. Yeah, that's fine. But when it came to Jay-Z, she walked into his company. Let's not forget, she walked into his company. He didn't walk into her company. She walked into his company. Have his children and everything. You don't ever see her trying to embarrass him. Mm-hmm. He's made some mistakes, you know, but she sticks it out with him. She understands where her retirement plan is. Mm-hmm. You know, she understands. He already good. He already good. He already knows. He's like, listen, we've got a lot of stuff tied up. We've got a lot of money tied up and everything. There's no need in me. What's that word I'm looking for? Basically, there's no need in me letting you go from this job. So yes, he did some really bad things, but he would never be dumb enough to get rid of her. He would never. He's like, no, because your severance pay is too high. Your severance pay is too high. It's cheaper to keep her, you know? And I just, you know, I understand some guys are scared of the severance pay. I understand that. But like I said, if you have a plan, when they come in, you let them know the plan. You let them know how they can help improve the plan. Don't minimize their role. Don't tell them, okay, you're only here just to cook and clean. But that's not how that works. You know, you let them know, listen, you're here to help improve the outlook of the company. And I'm the company. So you're here to help improve it. But what about me? By improving me, you're improving yourself. Because you benefit from everything. All your needs must be met. Your retirement plan must be met. Because you get all the time you put in is what goes into your retirement plan. Mm-hmm. So all your needs must be met. If you see I'm not fulfilling your needs, you can easily say, this plan doesn't work for me, I'm going to a different company. Then the only thing I can do is improve. You know what? Maybe I need to call in human resources, which is like a therapist, and human resources can help work out a deal between us. Because when you think about it like that, you can do nothing but continue to improve. Yeah, sometimes companies are really shitty and they need to be improved internally. But as long as we continue to do the work to improve our company, they're going to stay. As long as we continue to show them, listen, we're putting into your retirement plan. Oh, vacation time. You want vacation time. All right, cool. You've been putting in, you've deserved some vacation time. You've earned a vacation time because you've put in the work. And then you got to understand where you're going to put your vacation time at. Because remember, it's not going to be just a solo vacation. She's going to go vacation with you. So you plan a nice vacation. She's put in the work. I don't know, but I think a lot of women think that they won't be able to get their vacation time. They won't be able to get their time off. And that's why they don't want to go into these relationships. Because in past relationships, they weren't getting their vacation time and their time off that they put in the work for. And they don't understand that you can't take your past and bring it into your present, right? You don't leave one job and bring all that into your new job. You have to learn to start over. It's just what it is. Mm-hmm. You know? So that's what I have on it. I love that analogy because that's what I have on. That's how I was seeing it. Because it's sad in one way, but it's also in another way more understandable that what we need is to look at it in the simplest way. You look at it in a simple way like that, and you take that with that in mind, and you go and you, like I said, you continue to work for your benefits, and make sure you're getting those benefits, because everyone is going to be able to profit, but you have to make sure you're getting your benefits.
Yeah. What's ironic is that most people don't know the history, and the human history, right? The full history. Companies' jobs came from relationships. Yes. Because before jobs was even a thing, right? We were all out here hunter-gatherers. We're out here, fucking and ducking, right? We were just out here being wild animals, mm-hmm. right? Because we didn't have a civilization, but then we created civilization. We created money, right? We created jobs, and the list goes on. And it's all based off of the fact of how we got along. So we created rules and tribes. Like tribes was like, you can look at it like a company, right? You know, it's like, yeah, we all here working together so we can all benefit. So we all have jobs. You got the chief is the CEO, and the list goes on, right? So that's how it was. And then now, you know, now we call it community and whatnot. Now we call it, you know, society. But, you know, and then within that, right? Within that, you have a hierarchy, right? You got the man in the relationship. He's like the supervisor. The wife is the girlfriend wife, right? She's the manager, and then the kids are, you know, the new employees, right? The new guys, the new girls, and you know, and that's the hierarchy: man, woman, then children, right? And that's all it was. It was all. That's how it always been. And businesses, you know, just copy the same concept, right? The CEO essentially is the father, right? He's the head of the company, right? And then he has somebody under him, which is usually a vice president. And then, you know, it trickles down. Then you have a supervisor, managers, and HR, and blah, blah, blah. So that's why it's funny that a lot of people don't see relationships the same way they see their jobs. They see their job structured in a certain way, and they think the relationship's supposed to be structured differently. Like it's supposed to be whatever they want it to be, you know? It's like, I get it. You want to be the boss at your job, but you're not the boss. So when you get in a relationship, you want to be the boss in the relationship, but are you qualified though? If you're the best person for the job, then that makes sense. If you're the best person to lead the relationship, then yeah, lead the relationship to prosperity, to longevity. The problem is that most people, especially nowadays, right? It tends to be that most females tend to not do so well when it comes to a leadership position. A lot of times it's because they don't want to do it for long term, or you know, or they're just not the best qualified person for the position. Even though they really want to do it, they're not the best. They're not really equipped to do it. And then, you know, and the same goes for some guys. Some guys are just they're not equipped to have a relationship. So it's not like by default a guy has to be in charge of the relationship, you know, because not every guy is qualified. The ones who are obviously are, but the ones who aren't, well, you aren't. Which is why until you are capable and qualified to be leading a relationship, you shouldn't be trying to get into a relationship when you're not ready to, you know, properly lead it. You know, and that's the thing. But the guys who are good at leading, obviously, you know, definitely should lead, and vice versa. If a woman is the best qualified to lead, she should lead. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting is sometimes, you know, most people don't get the way historically, the way it's always been, is that the man, you know, he's like the, you know, he's not the CEO of the family. He's the owner, essentially, right? The owner of the business, right? He's the founder. He's the founder of the relationship. The wife is the CEO, right? She's the chief operation CEO, right? The chief operating officer. She's the one who manages the home and stuff like that. He's the one who, you know, finances, aka he's the one who builds the house, but she's the one who runs it, right? She's the one who makes it a home and all this other stuff, right? And she's the one who, you know, helps, you know, take his vision, for the relationship, for the, you know, right? And you know, runs with it when it comes to the kids. She makes sure that they learn, you know, what they're supposed to learn and follow the rules and this, that, and the third, and the list goes on. You know, after a while, he's essentially hands off. He's there more for as a counsel. You know, he's there to for the vision. He's there to let it, you know, to let it be known, like, hey, this is what, you know, the relationship is about, right? This is what the business is about. This is what the company is about. This is the mission statement. You know, the goal is to retire, you know, at a certain point. The point is to have the kids go to college, right? So we got to work on that, and so forth and so forth. Like, he has to lead, but she has to be able to be his second in command, right? The one who helps him, you know, make sure that all that works out. Because, you know, who holds him accountable, right? She's supposed to hold him accountable, just like he holds her accountable, just like they hold the kids accountable, right? And that's the thing, it's supposed to be a structure. But too many people are either A, trying to have an open business, basically, where everybody just do what they feel like or do what they want. Just go to work, and if you feel like working today, then work. If you don't feel like working today, don't worry, somebody else will pick up the slack. It's like, nah, that's not how it works. We've seen companies that try that, and it definitely doesn't work too well when everybody just does whatever they feel like when they feel like. You know, what was that? There was a company called what was it? Something Works. Something Works, and it was basically a place where people can go and basically rent out space to work. So they go there and they can use a conference room and use it for a meeting or something, or they can use printers to print stuff. Like, it was kind of like a one-stop shop for business. So you can go there and run your business from there, and everybody shared. That's what it was. It was like Airbnb per se, or space sharing or something like that, office sharing, whatever. And that's the thing. It's like everybody should take, sharing resources. And it was an interesting idea. But the thing is that when you have people, doing whatever they want when they want, a lot of clashing stuff start happening. Certain issues happen, and it didn't work out too well. That's why trying to be in an open relationship tends to not work too well when everybody's just doing whatever they want. That's why you need to buckle down and have a structure, have a plan. The best plans, right, are the ones that are thoroughly planned out and are followed to a T. Anytime you pivot, you change, you go with the flow type of nonsense, a plan always falls apart. It always fails when you don't have a solid plan, a solid foundation. And that's where the leadership comes in. That's where the structure comes in. That's where the agreement of who has the final say, right? Who's number one and who's number two. This whole, we're equal, equality, everything equal, everything the same. Is like, no. It doesn't work that way when everything's the same. Not everybody can drive a car with one steering wheel. Even if the car had two steering wheels, you can't have two people trying to turn the wheel in different directions. The car's not going to function properly. One person has to drive, and the other person can navigate, the other person can suggest things, but ultimately the final decision goes to whoever is behind the wheel. And just like in a relationship, one person has to be behind the wheel. And as long as both people agree who that is, then it shouldn't be a problem. All right, mutual agreement, symbiotic relationships.